What's going on, people? Jacob here, Miami Dolphins Syndicate. The Dolphins have fallen to 0-2 on the season, falling to the Patriots 33 to 27. And under normal circumstances, this game wouldn't be a backbreaker. This game wouldn't be one where you're like, man, the season changes because of today. How that game went, it really felt like you had to win that. For any sort of momentum for the rest of the season, for just to get the fan base off the backs of Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, Tua, it felt like you needed to win that. There was the plane flying overhead before the game started. Fire Greer, fire McDaniel. A sentiment that a lot of the fan base shares, and I can't entirely say they're wrong. I hate the idea of firing a coach mid-season, firing a GM mid-season. It's not going to get any better from that point. You are fully pushing the reset button. But now the Dolphins are going to Buffalo next week and are staring at 0-3 following Thursday Night Football. Before we get to what this game means, just take a look at the game itself. 33 to 27. I mean, the offense looked a lot better. We still cannot run the ball. That has continued over from last year. The Dolphins' inability to run the ball whatsoever. You're looking at Devon Achane, leading rusher, 30 yards on the day. Malik Washington, 23, the second leading rusher on the day. 18 of that 23 being on one single carry. Run game is horrible. There's no room for anything in between the tackles. Everything Devon Achane is going to get this year is going to be outside. And we saw that 8 catches, 92 yards, a touchdown. He is basically going to be a slot receiver for the rest of the season. This team cannot run the ball. It's not going to get better. You can throw Ollie Gordon in there. He's a bigger back. Doesn't matter. He came in one carry, 8 yards. Cool. That's not going to make the difference. That is not going... This Dolphins team cannot rely on the run game. And if you have a lead, you can't run the clock out. If you're trying to establish momentum early in the game with the run game, you can't. Everything in this offense is reliant on the passing game. And you know what? Tua looks good today. 26 of 32, 315, 2 touchdowns. The interception certainly came at a bad time, and I will talk about Tua in the clutch here in a little bit. But the outline of the game itself, especially if you just look at the box scores on offense, like, that's not unto itself a bad game. Tyreek Hill, finally another big game. They connect on a deep shot that was massively underthrown. 6 catches, 109 from Tyreek. Jalen Waddle, good game. 5 catches, 68 and a touchdown. Tyreek, Achane, Waddle, Tua, the 4 of them, they had a good game on paper. The defense still can't get stops. 7 to 12 on third down, where the Patriots, Drake May, really saw not a whole lot of pressure. 3 sacks on the day. 19 to 23, 230, 2 touchdowns from Drake May. If you said we would have lost this game, okay. If you would have said we would have lost this game and Ramondre Stevenson killed us, wouldn't have believed you. 54 yards on the ground, 88 yards through the air. 55-yard completion being the biggest for Ramondre Stevenson. We just did not have an answer for him. A physical back. Ramondre Stevenson's not a bad running back. They took Trayvon Henderson, of course, early. Trayvon Henderson had very little impact on today's game. Ramondre Stevenson is a good running back. Last year, bad offensive line, bad offense, and now that teams are game planning maybe a little bit more now for Trayvon Henderson with how explosive he is, it kind of leaves Ramondre as a forgotten man in this offense. We've seen Ramondre plenty of times carry this Patriots offense. He's a good player, and the Dolphins had no answer for him. Dolphins had no answer for the ground game really in general of the Patriots. It didn't light the world on fire, but they were just able to sustain drives. The Dolphins cannot sustain drives on the ground. The Dolphins are exactly what they were last year. Nothing has changed. This team cannot stop the run. They cannot run the ball themselves. They are crossing their fingers they hit big plays. Big plays happened. You got Malik Washington on a punt return touchdown. Awesome. Big play from Tyreek Hill. Awesome. The long touchdown catch from Devon Achane. Awesome. The big plays are still there, but that's not how you win in the NFL. Again, losing the time of the time of possession. I believe it was about a 10-minute gap that the Patriots had, about 10 more minutes of the ball than the Dolphins did. If you do not have the ball, it is extremely hard to win in the NFL. You have to have the ball. Whether it's scoring points, whether it's just having it so the other team cannot put on more points themselves, you need the ball. And if you can't run the ball and you're reliant on big plays, that just consistently puts your defense out there, which is clearly one of the worst defenses in the league. I don't know how to feel about Weaver. I don't know. I really don't. I wish he would blitz more. Maybe he's feeling that my secondary is so bad we cannot blitz more. We cannot afford to do anything but play zone all game long. There's no pressures coming off from you. Did you see a single safety blitz today? I mean, even how often were even our middle linebackers in the backfield? It was pretty much straight up 4-man across, zone, cross your fingers and pray. That is what our defense is redundant to. Personnel is certainly not there. I genuinely don't know how to rate Chris Grier. 33 points today, 33 points last game. Let's do quick maths on that. You're averaging 33 points a game allowed on defense. You cannot win this in this manner. You can't. It was a great game entertainment-wise. And again, if this game had come under different circumstances, let's say we're a little past the midway point of the season. Let's say the team was 6-3 within a game of the division in a wild card spot, and you drop this game. You're like, okay. That might have been my only reaction to it. Wish we had it. Kind of like, obviously we weren't in that situation, but last year when we go to Buffalo and we almost beat Buffalo in Buffalo, it's like, man, I wish we would have had it, but we gave it our all and fell short. You're 0-2 now. I was so really drove a narrative that I could see this team being 4-1 to start the season. And now you're going to Buffalo. And it's not going to be any easier. I mean, Buffalo did not look good today. And they went around and won by 4 scores. I mean, the Jets crashed back to earth because they're the Jets. But the Bills I don't even know if they can take anything away from the tape that they did to get against the Jets. And they still won by 4 scores. That's a very realistic chance of that very same thing happening next week to the Dolphins, where the Bills don't even have to have a good game next week, and they can run up the score on us. We had an opportunity to win there at the end, though. All that being said, we had an opportunity in clutch time, down by 3, 2 throws, interception. Defense gets a stop. Of course, their field goal kicker makes a 50-yarder where he missed 2 extra points early on in the game. Of course, he hits that, but all right. If Devon Achane just didn't step out. I mean, I don't have any confidence that this defense could have held them for a minute from getting in field goal range, and then we'll see what happens. Devon Achane just doesn't step out of bounds. You can't blame that on Devon Achane at all. And even really Tua, like, in that moment, he did what he could. Now, on the final drive, after that, 3rd down, running out of bounds. I get not forcing into traffic and potentially throwing an interception, but like running out of bounds on 3rd and 12, and then right side of the line gets absolutely blown up, sacked. I don't blame Tua necessarily for this loss, but he didn't do enough when it mattered to win the game. It was a good game from Tua. Numbers, accuracy was good. And you got to the 4th quarter, you throw interception on 4th down. You had Alec Ingold, pretty much an easy walk-in 1st down on the left side of the field. Instead, you force it back over the middle, interception. And then that final. It's not going to get easier. You got to win probably. You're going to win probably against the Panthers. You probably split against the Jets. You had a game against the Browns, which dude, I can't imagine. I don't care how bad we are. I cannot imagine a world in which we lose to the Browns. The Browns are horrifyingly bad. But this one hurts. We had a chance. Watching the games, I feel pretty numb to it. Like, I'm not very emotionally invested while just sitting and watching the games. I was watching at Hooters. There's a lot of Dolphins fans there, but I'm not sitting there on every throw, anxious. But now, after the game's over, sit here in front of a mic. That one hurts. So, 0-2. Bills next week. 0-3. And then what happens? Would I maybe be surprised if Mike McDaniel's out of a job this time next week? If it goes that badly? Almost no matter what happens, I don't want to be fired just on the basis of 3 games into the season you're firing a coach. That's just the rest of the season cannot get better from that. But next week is next week. And the Dolphins are 0-2. Let me know your thoughts down below. The more I've spoken out loud about how this game went, and dude, there were some electric games going on. I mean, the Cowboys-Giants game. The Bengals able to take down the Jaguars despite Joe Burrow going down. Electric. There were some really good games going on today, and the Dolphins included. From a unbiased perspective, incredible game. But as a Dolphins fan, you're looking at it like, okay, 0-2. 0-3 next week. So, catch y'all next time. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below in the comments. Catch you later. Have a good one. Go Dolphins.